All I know is his feet are quick, getting out of trouble.
Here's Chris Boswell, and that kick is blocked. Pittsburgh keeps the football for over 6 minutes and then fails to get 3 from 36 yards out. Here's Wentz. Gets rid of it quickly. It's Selleck breaking a tackle across the 40 and bumped out at the 45. Brent Selleck,
the most dynamic player on their defense.
And come back over here to Sproles. He's got blockers in front. Watch Sproles go. Sproles. 100th career attempt for Caleb Sturgis. He's 5 out of 6 this year, and from 29 yards out, it's good. Pocket seal, pass on the way, and it's a beauty. On the sideline. That's a touchdown. Jordan Matthews from Carson Wentz.
Wide receiver comes under and just sticks it right to the chest of Matthews.
Music Corps program helping clean up a local playground, and here come the Eagles on offense with another completion.
Very well in these first 3 games.
38 yards, and Sturgis delivers the 3. Here's 3rd and 8. Oh, he sidesteps one Steeler defender and finds Sproles. Sproles cuts back to the middle. No one will be, well, yes, hold on a minute. Sproles wiggles twice, and yes, he takes it home for the touchdown.
That touchdown run, but it's Carson Wentz. Nobody open. Breaks the pocket, and he knows he's not going to run for the first down, so he goes along the line of scrimmage, and what a good adjustment by Sproles.
Look at that twice. Pass almost intercepted, just out of the hands. They blitz, it's picked up, and Wentz takes advantage to Selleck.
Types of plays.
First down, 13-yard line. Smallwood again with the quickness down to the 1. And going to run in for the touchdown. It's Wendell Smallwood.
A man who can move.
2nd and 18 again, the pressure, and the ball is on the ground, picked up by the Eagles.
Can't stop the strength.
First and goal. Hand off, Barner, wow. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
At the end of the game, I think they finally tired him out.
2nd and 10. Ben gets free, flag is down to the end zone. Fight for the football, Hayward Bay.
Watch this, at the very last second, jumps and turns.
Doug Peterson becomes the first Eagles coach to win his first 3 games to start a season. At the beginning.
So what's up, everybody? It's my voice Forward. I got you guys with a brand new video. Today, as you guys can see, Eagles beat the Steelers 34-3. 34-3 at the Link. Great game by the offense, great game by the defense. Great game overall. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the defense. The defense that held one of the top NFL offenses in the league to 3 points. 3 points. This is a team that was expected to average 31 points a game. This is a team that is expected to be a Super Bowl contender this year, and we shut them down to 3 points. We didn't necessarily shut down Antonio Brown, but that didn't matter in the end. What we gave up to Brown were catches and yards that didn't end up turning into points. So they would chug it deep, Brown would catch it, but in the end that would all be for nothing. And that's what I love about this defense. Even though they give up a couple big plays to these big-time receivers, they're always attacking. They're always aggressive. They have a one-track mind. Attack, attack, attack. And it paid off, especially in the red zone. The Steelers would get down to the red zone. They would attack, attack, attack. They would get pressure on Ben Roethlisberger. They would limit D'Angelo Williams to going nowhere. And this is a guy, D'Angelo Williams is no scrub. He's a really good running back. He torched the past 2 teams that he faced. So he's not a nobody. We pretty much shut down all the other receivers besides Brown. You know, a couple catches, but What are you going to expect? It's a football game. But other than that, our defense was crazy attacking, and I loved it. I loved it. Which is why my defensive MVP for this game, for the second time in a row, is going to be the defensive line. Because although the corners played good, and they really played good, they held their own, the defensive line really was attacking constantly, all game. Ben Roethlisberger, and they didn't get pressure all the time. Actually, a lot of the times he had a clean pocket, but they got pressure early, and that got into Roethlisberger's head. That's why you would see Roethlisberger floating a lot of balls over the receivers' heads, because he was feeling pressure that wasn't there. And that's what good defenses will do to you. They'll get into a quarterback's head by pressuring him in the beginning, and then he starts to, step up for no reason. He's going to throw a little higher because he feels like the defense is going to bat it down. So defensive line, get in my defensive MVP for the game. Beautiful defensive performance by the Eagles on defense. Alright, let's get into the offense here. Offense. Putting up 34 points on the Steelers defense. Now the Steelers defense is not like Seattle. It's not like Carolina. It's not like Denver. But it's a pretty good defense. They're no scrubs. The Pittsburgh defense is a good defense. And Carson Wentz carved them up. Over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. My man's Carson Wentz has not thrown a pick. He has not fumbled, not thrown a pick. He's not done anything wrong in his first 3 starts. And he's attempted so many passes. I think he's attempted well over 100 passes now. No interceptions. I'm loving this from Carson Wentz. He showed poise. He was calm, cool, collected. Cool as a cucumber in the pocket. Cool as a cucumber. The blitz is coming, no problem. Boom, he gets it out of his hands quick. First down is Brent Selleck. I was about to say Zach Ertz. Brent Selleck. That one play when he got the 73-yard touchdown to Sproles, he stepped up. He went around, and it looked like he was going to run. So he froze that linebacker. The linebacker didn't know what to do. Am I going to go after Wentz? I'm going to go after Sproles. And by the time Wentz let out of his hand, it was all too late. Sproles is down the field. Touchdown, baby. Touchdown. Carson Wentz played amazing. The offensive line played really good. Alan Barber, who a lot of people said is a scrub, and, you know, we're still not good at left guard. We're looking pretty good at left guard. Of course, a couple dumb penalties. That's always expected from the Eagles' offensive line. But other than that, they played really good in pass protection. In the runs, we got shut down in the run. But the smart thing about what Coach Peterson did is he saw the run wasn't working. So instead of trying to do it over and over, even though you know it's not going to work, he started throwing quick screens, bubble screens, slip screens. All these little screens that are substituted in for run plays. Now, these screens didn't get a lot of yards. They would pick up 4 or 5. You know, sometimes they pick up a first down, but most of the time, 4 or 5 yards. He was just substituting the run for the screen, which is very smart. And he did this early. He noticed, okay, the Steelers defense is really aggressive. And how do you attack an aggressive defense? You get the ball out quick. You throw screens. You do a lot of misdirection, which they did a lot of with Josh Huff, Kenyon Barner, Darren Sproles. Doug Peterson had a great game. He's really showed that he can adjust in all 3 weeks. In Cleveland he adjusted, Chicago adjusted, here he adjusted. It was a beautiful game plan by Peterson, beautifully executed by Wentz. A couple drops by the receivers, but other than that, beautiful game on offense, and my offensive MVP for the 2nd week in a row, Carson, can't miss, Wentz. Carson Wentz. I don't know. I think he's going to be my offensive MVP for the rest of the year. If he keeps playing like this. Wonderful game. I can't say enough about him. Carson Wentz, offensive MVP for my game. Let's get into my overall MVP of the game. It was very tough choosing between Wentz and the defense, but I'm going to have to go to the defense. This time, not just the defensive line, but the whole defense as a collective unit is my Momo MVP of the game. They shut down the Steelers with Antonio Brown, Eli Rogers, Marcus Wheaton, Darius Hayward-Bay, a whole levy of receivers and running backs, and the future Hall of Fame quarterback Ben Roethlisberger. Shut him down. Shut down. I loved it. I loved it. They get my Momo MVP for the game. We're going to a bye week. I think this is a perfect time for a bye week for the Eagles because they're feeling really good after 3 weeks. They're 3-0. The bye week sort of can bring them down to earth a little bit, you know. They get a couple extra days off, rest up, enjoy the victory, then you come back to work, and it's right back to the grind. That's just what we do here in Philly, baby. Follow me on Twitter, @MomoBay212 if you want to see some of my live reactions during the game. It's pretty lit over there on my Twitter. And yeah, this is Momo 12. I'm out. Peace!